Hey everyone. So, it's been a long time. We haven't really posted anything in months and months and months. And you're probably wondering if I was alive or not. And I am. So, I am trying to get back into creating content and to create it more regularly. I've already recorded another video which should be going up shortly. My goal is to try and post videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Um, yeah, I'm sorry that I've been gone for so long. Now, some goals that I have for the channel is by far the most popular video I have has to do with BIOS and assembly. And I recently went and I watched it, and the sound quality is far from ideal. It's also really long, and it covers a whole bunch of different topics. Granted, it does get you up and running, but it I don't know. It feels like I tried to put too much into it. So I'm going to try to have some assembly videos because that's extremely popular for whatever reason right now. So I'll do that, assembly videos. I'm also going to try to confine the topics to smaller little bits and pieces. So hopefully the videos will be shorter. And on top of that, rather than having all these things covered all at once, hopefully people will just be able to bounce to shorter videos, or if they're not shorter, hopefully they're more in depth, where instead of bouncing from topic to topic, they're just drilling in really deep on one specific topic. So, for those of you that have seen my really long Hello World BIOS assembly video, unfortunately, a couple of the first videos here will be repeats. I want to cover the stuff about the boot sector in its own video. I want to talk about the tools you need to get started so you can actually start writing in assembly in its own video. That way, if you already have the tools, you don't need to keep fast forwarding in the original video to the correct spot. There will be a new Hello World program which does specifically Hello World only. That way, if you want to know how to display onto the screen, rather than having to fast forward or jump around and find out where I talked about that, you can just watch that video. And I'll probably go into more depth too, which I think will be good. Anyway, you can see I do have some other ideas talking about how to move the cursor around, which is a BIOS thing. Comparing strings, technically that's just an x86 thing, but we're gonna slice and dice, mix and match various different things between just x86 assembly and the BIOS, because the BIOS allows you to show what you're actually doing, and x86 assembly sort of is very important to do it all. I also am going to try to do these all in one go. So rather than editing and having lots of pretty little pictures and things like that, it's going to be more like sitting in a classroom 30 years ago staring at the blackboard. Although you probably won't have to see me, so that's a plus. However, I will try to have an agenda of the things that I plan on accomplishing in the video, and then we will also look at the code, step through the code, illustrate that the code works, hopefully. Honestly, if the code doesn't work, I won't post it. So yes, the code will work. I can guarantee it. And then probably do a recap at the end where we'll go through and talk about what worked and why we did it, and so on and so forth. It's going to be a learning experience. I haven't posted videos in a long time, so bear with me. I also, well, you can see I have talking about using color and writing directly to the video memory, and delays like a sleep timer, and doing loops and repeats, and all sorts of the cool things that you can do in assembly, and try to have them each in their own little section or module or whatever, so that you can just jump around, and if you already know it, you don't need to watch it. And if there's something you don't know, hopefully they'll be shorter. They might not be, but at least hopefully they'll be detailed, and I'll try to keep it entertaining. I also want to do maybe some theory based videos of why does this work inside of the computer, and things like that. I often like the approach of just starting and doing something and getting a result, and then fine tuning my understanding later. So that is the approach I will be doing on here. You'll be writing code, and then later on we'll come back and explain why the code works and maybe things to make it more efficient. So some of the code you might see might not be super efficient off the bat, but hopefully it'll be clear for learning purposes. And then when we optimize the code, then it will not be like, I'm confused, what are you doing? Why are you doing it this way? It'll be like, oh, this is the way we did it. It makes sense to me. And now we're showing how to make it more compressed or faster or whatever else. I think somebody out there said that the root of all evil is premature optimization. So we'll go with that. SDL. I see SDL 3 came out now. Maybe we'll get into that. It's not assembly, but I mean, writing pixels to a screen, that sounds like fun. It sounds sort of like assembly. So maybe we'll get into it. I think that that'll be fun. I probably won't approach it exactly from a gamer writing games perspective. Obviously it can be applied that way. Maybe I will. I don't know. Maybe we'll do it, maybe we won't. I thought maybe it'd be fun to have a fun little series called Will It Compile? And basically it just is me before making the video going through to figure out how to make some of these things compile. Like SQLite, have you tried to get that to compile? Yeah, it's fun. I don't even remember how to do it anymore. So it'll be a great resource for myself, future self down the road. Or like Wayland, if you want to build that for whatever reason, or Xorg server, or I mean, some of these I have not figured out how to get them to compile, and it requires hours of Googling. So my goal will be to get them to compile, write down the steps I took, undo everything I did on a virtual machine that's basically a clean install that has nothing on it, and then show you what you need to add, and show you when you get an error message what that error means, and then what you need to add to get the thing to work. And when it's all said and done, then we will have working other people's libraries that normally are just, it seems like, very challenging to compile. So I thought that might be a fun little series. And then odds and ends from other languages outside assembly. The language is called Sudo C++, which is a callback to Linux becoming the super user and doing things, and then C++, which is what this channel was supposed to be about. And my first video was just a little fun one. It was something I was dabbling with at the time, which was the BIOS, and that took off like wildfire. So give the people what they want. We will give you assembly videos, but I'm sure eventually we'll run out of them. I mean, it's a tiny instruction set. It's just how you put the little parts and pieces together, and your sky's the limit. Your imagination's the limit. So maybe we'll get into other languages and start from the bottom up on those as well. So the goal is we're going to try to have fun. We're going to try to keep a schedule of Tuesdays and Thursdays. And sorry for the repeats, you guys that have already subscribed a year ago. But I promise there will be new content coming. Unseen content. Never seen before to human eyes or ears. Unless other people on other channels maybe covered something similar. But I doubt they use the exact same words that I use. So it's all new. Anyway, this video is already becoming long. So We will try to keep the video short. It might not happen. I don't know yet. But we look forward to seeing you in the upcoming videos. So we will talk more to you then. All right. See you then.